played ball in Southern California, All-American, right? And played for the New York Giants. He's got a ring on there, kind of tell you where he's been. He can tell you also where he comes from, and I think that's the most important part of the story. Where he comes from and how he made himself in life. Okay? Keith.
Took a little time with the freshman yesterday, and I'm only in town for 2 days, so I'm leaving actually right after this. But I wanted to bring a special friend I wanted to introduce as well. So he mentioned I'm from California, so I played my college ball at USC and then with the New York Giants. But I got my friend here, Dominic. Dominic obviously played his college football for the University of Houston. He played his junior college football at Glenn Junior College, where they were national champions. One of the biggest, strongest players on the team, 6'3", 290 pounds, runs his 40-yard dash in 4.7 seconds, will be a free agent in the NFL coming up this coming year. As you know, let me just tell you briefly a little bit of my story, and then hopefully, man, we can just take a little time to inspire you, and I want to leave a little bit of time so you can hear from Dominic, since he's actually from Houston here. He's recruited all over the nation, University of Tennessee, Miami, Texas A&M, Kansas State. Decided to stay right here in his hometown. He mentioned a little bit about my range, and I'll just get right to that point. One game we were playing, national TVs, millions on TV, 90,000 in the stadium. We had our helmets clicked up, gloves on, mouthpieces in. We got down to the edge of the tunnel. The crowd was so loud, adrenaline pumping, it felt like the stadium was vibrating. We got out on the field, and ESPN had said we're going to get blown out. The team we were playing was too good because we didn't compare on paper. And as the game started, red 88, blue 44, HUD. They snapped and they just began to fire away and go up and down the field on us. And long story short, we got blown out. We got humiliated in front of millions on the tube and 90,000 in the stadium. But that was the first half. We came back in at halftime, changed everything. We got a new game plan. Everybody say new plan. New plan. Say new plan. New plan. Say second half. Second half. You can say this one with some energy. Everybody say game time. Game time. Game time. Game time. So what happened was first half, man, I don't know what happened. It didn't click. It wasn't game time. But we came back the second half. Came back. And took the game. And it was a phenomenal feeling. Why am I telling you that story? Because that's my life, man. Second half and the first half. My first half, I was born and raised in South Central LA. My father ran drugs from LA across the country. When I was 4 years old, my father committed suicide because the drugs always leave you at the bottom. My mama became so depressed, she didn't have no money, she didn't have anything, so all she started doing was drinking, passing out. So then my mama also started dating another dude and another boyfriend and another boyfriend. Then she let this one crazy boyfriend end up moving in with us, and all he liked to do was use his fist on my mom and on me. So we ended up, we didn't have no money. We had to go from school to school to school to school to school to school. Went to 19 different schools in the city of Los Angeles before I got to the 10th grade. I was in a special remedial class, couldn't read well, couldn't pass the SAT, all of that stuff, man. And then I just felt like giving up. That's the first half. They predicted, man, you probably end up in prison, maybe like your cousin or your big brother. They thought I would be like all other homies claiming the set, sitting in the back. They didn't predict that I would graduate because a lot of dudes just give up and don't even show up. But it's something about the second half. Everybody say game time. Game time! Man, I said, man, it's game time. And when a great player lines up, I don't care how big they are in front of them. You coming and you coming and you coming and you coming. So I know what, I couldn't read well, but I just kept showing up. I'm sitting in class, I ain't in the back with my homies, I'm in the front. I went to the tutor. They like, oh man, what's up, man? I gotta go to the tutor. Why? Because I got a dream, I got a vision. Second half, man. So long story, graduated high school, struggled in college, came in at the very bottom, but 4 years later stood there, graduated. My mama sat in the crowd, tears in her eyes, because that last name, Davis, just like your last name. Maybe it's Rodriguez, Gomez, Williams, Smith, Garcia, whatever it is. A lot of people have died in the past with your name, and maybe nobody's done anything great. But my mama just recently passed, and I spoke at a funeral. And when I spoke at a funeral, Everybody told me don't be sad because your mama was proud. My mama didn't die drug addict or alcoholic. My mama lived a wonderful second half. Because when God gets involved, I'm going to tell you what, with man things are impossible, but not with God. With God, all things are possible. My mama's life changed around. Great second half. For me, ended up graduating the very top, second half. My little brother ended up going to college instead of getting in the gang, second half. Now my son is at USC, the same school that only the rich people went to. Only the school for the white people go to. No, now my son at USC, another one at UCLA. Second half. Why am I sharing this with you guys? I came here to say one thing, man. Coach allowed me to be here to say this. It ain't how you start, it's how you finish. Second thing I want to tell you is a great man that spoke to our team, and he changed my life. He was 75 years old. Coach brought in the most renowned guest we had ever had. This man had written 25 books and been to 180 nations. He's dead now, but what he said to me, it lives in me forever. He looked at us, and he said, gentlemen, I got one thing to say to you. We big, we buff, we got rings on. He said, winners are different than losers for one reason, and one reason only. He said, winners always look at what they're going to, and losers look at what they're going through. And some of you, man, you here today, you working out, you training, you going to class, your homies is hanging, tripping in class, talking back, but not you, because you got a dream. So it's game time. Everybody say game time. Game time! Second half. I want you to know, man, it's time for a comeback. So anyway, I brought my boy Dominic, man. I wanted you to hear just a little bit from him to fire you up. He's from Houston here, and he making it happen. Let's give it up for my boy Dominic.
Maybe I'll say it one more time. Game time! Game time! Fire me up right there, man. When I was 15 years old, both my mom and my dad, they dropped me off to school. When they got off the street, FBI surrounded them, man. They took them away. They got off the car with guns. They told them, get down! Get down on the ground! They took them both to prison. That same day, they took my 65-year-old grandmother to prison. My 65-year-old grandmother. That next day, I saw my mother and my grandmother in court. When I saw them, they had chains on from their hands all the way down to their feet. I cried. I was hurt. I felt destroyed. I felt alone. I felt like giving up on life. I felt like giving up on everything. My dad gave me a call. He told me he was facing 20 years. 20 years. I was 15 years old. There was only one thing I could think about, giving up, committing suicide, giving up on my dreams, my vision, and everything. Because I was in a dark place. Martin Luther King said, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Well, I found my light, because the Lord was my light. And he shined through my darkness. And no matter what came my way, no matter how bad the obstacle was, how bad the storm, I burst through. And I began to get my vision back, my dream back. I started working hard again. I started to push. I started to read my books. I started to study hard. And then I went to Glenn Junior College, where I got the national championship ring here with Cam Newton. And then from there I got recruited by everybody, Texas A&M, Louisville, Tennessee, by the side to play football at the University of Houston, where we went 13-1 with Case Keenum, and under a great coach named Coach Summer. One thing Coach Summer installed in us was vision. You got to have a great vision, man. Without vision, in the Bible it says people will perish. I didn't have a vision. I didn't even know who the Lord was. But I read a scripture that says, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Son except through the Father. So my vision was to start pushing towards my goals, start pushing towards my dreams, start pushing towards my vision. What's your vision? And whatever your vision is, believe that you can have it, because you can, man. Believe me, man, whatever's in your heart, it's in your mind. If you believe you can't do it, you're not going to do it. If you believe you can win a championship next year, you will win. But everybody got to be one accord. Everybody got to be on the same page. Can nobody bring anybody down? If somebody's down, lift them up. Bring them up again. If you feel fear, turn it around to courage. If you don't feel confident, make yourself confident. Tell your teammates you can do it. Push. I'm telling you, if you get it right here, it's in your mind. And it's dangerous. The sky's not the limit. The sky is the gap between heaven and earth. You can go past the sky. where you can get exceedingly abundantly all that you ask and think of. That's what I'm doing, that's what my brother does, that's what you can do. How many of you want to go higher in the sky? Huh? Higher in dreams. Well, let's do it, man.
All right, let's close with something real special, Dominic. First of all, man, got them rings, got these rings. It's an interesting feeling. So we're gonna leave you with something real special we like to do. This is what I need. First of all, man, I need the smallest, shortest, littlest person on the team. Who's that, man? Little, smallest, skinniest, lightest. Okay, just one guy. All right, now I need your biggest. That boy can eat some frijoles and wait. Right here. All right, and then I need not average height, maybe a QB or a running back. So yeah, all right, here we go. Let's do something real special, man. Dominic and I, we like to do this little thing called push. On the count of three, let me say push. 1, 2, 3. Push. Push. So anyway, real quick, scoot back just a little bit, guys. We'll do this little thing we call push. All right. My boy Dominic and I, like I said, man, I benched 5'15". Dominic yoked up. So we're gonna do this little thing we like to do called push-ups. But Dominic's gonna do a different kind of push-up. Question for today, we're gonna leave you with when you get ready to work out. Is what kind of dream do you have? What kind of dream? I'm gonna go through 3 times. Everybody say little dream. Little dream. Average dream. Average dream. Big dream. Big dream. All right, little dream, help me out for a second. I'm gonna have you stand right up in the middle of his back right there. All right, here we go. Everybody on the count of 3, come here, man. Hold this on for a second. On the count of 3, I'm gonna need you to say push. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Push. 1, 2, 3. Push. That's good, man. But we can't stop with little dreams not today because we got a little faith. Here we go. Average dream. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh man, we here today at Northbrook. We can't stop with an average dream coach brought us today because when you trust God, when I say Lord, it seems impossible, but I know that you with me. I gotta have everybody say big dream, big dream. Oh, got there. Got there. Here we go. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Persevere! Persevere! Until something happens. My homies quit, man. They firing the blunts up. My homeboys claiming the set. They showing up half late to practice, ain't giving the day off. But I ain't like them, man. I ain't like the rest of my family, even though I love them, man. I'm gonna graduate. I'm gonna go to college. Maybe it's just a junior college, but I'm gonna go for it because I gotta persevere until that something is called success. And it's happening, man, no matter what color, because all I know is if God is for us, who can be against us? God bless y'all. Thank you.